Maybe your child is a prodigy and a Van Gogh in the art world. Or maybe they're just average and they paint angry clouds. They feel proud and they want it displayed in your home, even when it maybe is less desirable to look at. So what am I supposed to do with my kids' artwork? What to do with kids' artwork in 3 steps. Display, store, sort. Step 1, display the art. Makes them feel proud. When they're working on the project, it actually allows them to spend more time on it instead of rushing through when they know it's going to be displayed. It doesn't have to be fancy. I've got a string with some clothespins on it. It could be your fridge. It could be anywhere, but display it somewhere, even if it's for a brief time. I only put 1 piece of artwork on each clip. And once the clips are full, then we don't hang any more up. Then, when the clips are all full, we move on to step 2. Step 2 is to store the artwork. Some people have a hard time letting go of artwork that their kids create, and they want to save it all. So one method to help you weed that down a little bit so you don't have boxes and boxes full of all of the pictures your child has ever drawn is to use a filing system. Here's what we have. You can use a filing cabinet if you have one, or you can just buy a plastic mini filing cabinet that you could put hanging file folders in. I've got 1 file for every grade that the kids will be in, and then I will just take all of the pictures that I have hung or anything that comes from school, and I put it inside of that folder. Sometimes the folder will it gets full, it grows, perfect. That means we need to move on to step 3, which is sorting. Before that, a couple side tips. Instead of sorting everything, sometimes what I do is I'll say, "Oh, Kate, which ones do you want to send to Grandma?" And then we'll fold those up in an envelope and ship those out of the way. And it's not that I'm just passing off the stuff, it's that we generally do want to send pictures to Grandma and aunts and uncles, and we don't get to see them very often. So it's really just 2 birds with 1 stone. Instead of taking time to make more artwork just to send to others, we can take things she's already created to send to them. Step 3, sorting the artwork. So once your filing cabinet is full or your file is full, then you would take out the file. Here's an example of what it might look like to go through a folder. So Kate's got her preschool folder here, and there are a bunch of papers in here. So we're going to go through and I'm just going to tell Kate, why don't you pick the ones that they like to reminisce sometimes.
Snow pants, boots.
So Kate, honey, let's make a pile. Let's make a pile here of ones that you want to keep and ones that you don't need anymore.
Buttons.
So we went through the file together, and here are a couple of observations. This is a sheet that I was like, oh, this could be helpful. It has, putting on mittens, snow pants, boots. It's steps for going outside. So I'm like, oh, we could take this out of the folder and actually hang it up by the front door. And Kate's like, I don't like it. It's folded. Throw it away. So sometimes we can be attached to things instead of the kids. And I said, yep, good idea. Let's get rid of it. So recycle. Another tip is something that might be 3D, and this doesn't take up that much room, but take a picture of it if they really love it and put that in the file so it doesn't take up as much room. Works really good with, like, I don't even want to say Legos, but bigger creations or clay things the kids have that they don't want anymore. Another thing is a birthday card that she has, and there's a message inside from someone that I just love so much. And Kate doesn't have any attachment to this card other than she said, I want to be a mermaid. But I actually do because of the message that that person put in there. And so now I know that Kate doesn't want it. I'm not going to keep it in Kate's folder. I have to decide, do I like it so much that I want to keep it in my personal folder, or should I get rid of it? And I'm choosing to keep it in my personal folder. Sometimes as parents of young kids, the memories are ours, not the children's. And so that's a hard thing to deal with. So if you want to keep it in your memory box, great. That's easy to do as parents, is to have a memory or an item that's brings back a memory from when our kids were babies, and the kids don't remember them, but we do. So then make it your memory, not your kids. Or else what happens is when they go off to school or get married and move out of the house, they've got boxes and boxes of stuff that may not have significance to them, and maybe it's just for you, but then it ends up being a burden on them that we don't want to pass on. Another is kids' books. These are 2 books that Kate really liked last year. And so instead of keeping the books, I just have a picture of the cover of the book and I keep it in her file. The file is now more manageable and I can put it back inside of the cabinet. In sorting our kids' artwork, your line or your display area should be empty now to start refilling it again. And you're set.